Hey, you guys, I'm being silly. Oh my goodness, let's talk travel. Today we want to talk about ignorance of the law is no excuse. Ignorance of the law is no excuse, and we're talking about travel. So for those of you that do not know me, my name is Sonia Jennings. I am a business and leisure travel consultant, and I come on weekdays, Monday through Thursdays, talking about travel. Whether it's travel tips on being safe, savings, and just having fun. So today I want to talk about ignorance of the law is no excuse. It is your responsibility, is my responsibility when we travel. So in light of what has happened in the UCLA, you guys know, if you've seen the news about those 3 basketball players that are detained in China because of shoplifting. And again, no judgment here. Remember, proven until innocent until proven guilty. Hey, Lysandra, bring them on camera. So anyway, did they come home today? Well, anyway, my hubby just told me that they came home today. Well, I have not checked that news, so good for them. Glad they made it back home safely to the motherland. It is always better to be on this side than it is to be in a different country where you do not live. Anyway, so let's talk about ignorance to the law is no excuse, right? So you guys know that there's many places where you travel that you have to know the law. Even me, from Houston, traveling over here in Ohio, they have different laws, you guys, and I had to find out some things, the hard way, right? But you live and you learn. So I know when I was in Switzerland, they told me that that if you're caught speeding, and I think it's so many times or whatever, you lose your car. You actually have to pay to get your car out just for a traffic ticket, if that no warrants or anything, if you're caught speeding in Switzerland. And I know in Germany, you are not allowed to run out of gasoline. So you have to have gas in your car. You cannot stop on the freeway if you do not have gas, okay? So let's talk about some things that we need to know. I also read where in Singapore, it's illegal to chew gum. I was like, really? Okay, what's up with that law? But anyway, and also if you're traveling to the Caribbean, we know we have a lot of people that travel to the Caribbean. You guys may not know, but I grew up in the Caribbean in St. Lucia. And so in St. Kitts, you guys know there was an American rapper that got arrested for swearing, for cussing, right? He got arrested for that. So there's so many things that we're ignorant. It's not our fault. I mean, who really actually goes online and look for, hey, what are the laws in this country, right? Unless you're really aware and you're really concerned. So I am here to give you a few tips on what you need to know before you travel. So be sure you have these articles with you when you are traveling, especially if you're traveling international. Hey, Miss Tiffany, if you are traveling international, okay? Be sure you have this in your wallet. You have to know how to contact the American Embassy. So if you are traveling, okay, so I have a little card that I keep in my wallet when I'm traveling to Switzerland or Germany or wherever. If I'm traveling outside of the United States, I make sure that I have the American Embassy that I can contact if something was to happen and if I didn't know anyone out there. Number 2, be sure you have a personal emergency contact information. You guys, your friends, your family, your attorney. There is one thing I have learned, and my cousin taught me this years ago when I thought I was grown and I was dating and going out. Always had to have, we had to have the guy's license plate number. We had to have his name. When I got older, I started doing background checks on individuals before I went out with them because it's important. So when I travel, my husband always have my itinerary if he is not with me. And my daughter, she always calls. We have this thing that if she's traveling, I know where she is. And if I'm traveling, she knows where I am. So if we're going to win, if my hubby and I are traveling together, my daughter has my itinerary and she knows exactly where I'm going, where I'm staying, or my sister, somebody. Do not travel without someone. As a matter of fact, I don't go anywhere without somebody not knowing where I am, okay? Not even to work. If I leave my home, someone knows Sonia is on her way to work, right? Because you just never know nowadays. Number 3, Be sure, please be sure that they know what to do if something happens, because sometimes you may have one phone call and hey, this is not a gloom or doom. This is just being aware. You may have, you may have their contact information, but you may have one phone call and that's the only person you can reach. If it's my daughter and she doesn't know what to do, she's going to be in pure panic, right? In pure panic and not knowing what to do. So be sure that they are aware also of what they're supposed to do if something was to happen to you, right? Another thing, do not get nervous. If you're pulled over, be sure you always carry your passport. I don't care if you're traveling international, be sure to have your passport with you at all times. Because one day I left my passport in the safe, and I'm not going to tell you what happened, right? You have to have your passport with you at all times when you are traveling. And by the way, side note, be sure that you're going on the website looking for if your state is going to require you to have a passport come 2018 to travel within the United States. The laws are changing. Like my title says, ignorance of the law is no excuse. You have to educate yourself. Be sure you have your driver's license. Be sure that you have any credit cards and cash. You guys, I was in Germany just not too long ago, and I had like 7 euros. That was it. And it was me and a couple of friends, and we went somewhere and they did not take credit cards. They did not take US dollars. We had US dollars. So be sure that if you're going to travel international, that you have, wherever that country that you're going to, that you have their currency on hand with you. And be sure you have a credit card also in case of emergencies, right? And be sure, again, that you instruct your family of what to expect if something to happen. What is it that they're supposed to do? Write it out, outline it, and have that there. Do that every single day. Another thing, to carry your carry important items like your I talked about it last night about your medication and stuff. Be sure that you have your medication, that your name is on the prescription box. Do not take it or the bottle. Do not take it and pour it in another, little container, etc. They will not give you a medication, okay? Be sure that your name is on every single bottle of medication that you have, because they're not obligated to give it to you unless you have your bottle. Another thing, when you're traveling, I saw this recently on the plane, that lady that said she was allergic to, I think it was a dog or something. She was allergic, and someone had, I believe it was a service dog or something. Be sure that you have your doctor's excuse or your doctor's note saying that all of your allergies, you're allergic to, etc., etc., etc. We were on the plane a couple of months back, and I think we were flying to New York, and there was a lady that came and said, hey, I have a son, he's allergic to peanuts. Guess what they did on that flight? Nothing with peanuts was served. No food, not those little peanut snacks or whatever. They did not serve it because she said he could not even be around peanuts, right? And so guess what? She had her little letter from the doctor saying, hey, my son is allergic to peanuts. So if you are allergic to any type of foods, be sure that you keep your documentation with you, because guess what? You say it and you act the fool, you will be escorted off that plane. Seriously. I saw them did that to the lady. I was like, oh my goodness, right? Anyway, so no sympathy for her. She did not have her doctors. So these are important, you guys. It is so important to have those things when you are traveling. Also, just if you're traveling just in the U.S., right? You just never know what could happen. Disasters happen all the time around us. Be sure you have your driver's license, your passport, enough money, the currency of that country that you're traveling. And be sure you have your medication. Be sure you have your doctor's excuses. Again, you guys, and again, don't do anything stupid. Don't do something if you know you're going to be in trouble right here in the U.S., right, for shoplifting. Don't go to another country and shoplift, because guess what? It is something else for you to get back home, right? And again, I'm not saying that they did it. Again, innocent until proven guilty. But anyway, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Sonia Jennings bringing you your travel tips Monday through Thursday. Be sure to join me tomorrow morning as we have more topics on travel. We'll see you guys soon. Bye. Thanks for watching.